Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, racers from afar, spectators from afar, welcome to the Burns Lake Snowmobile Club 2025 Cold Smoke Drag Racing. Right here, Saturday, February 8th. It's cold, it's perfect. Burns Lake Motorsports Park here at 74585 Babine Road. Welcome everybody. There'll be a racers meeting here at some point, real quick. If you haven't registered, check your sled, then get registered. There are classes 600, 700, 800, 859 mods, and the team class. There are many sponsors here today. Call your friends, get down here, don't go away, we'll be right back.
Welcome to all the new guys that are here. Good to see some new faces back. Lane 1 is the power lane. Lane 2 is the wheel. All right, guys, let's just make sure we have a good race day today and play safe out here. Thanks. All right.
Lane number 1 is closest to the stands. Number 1 is your winner, 0, 0, and 10. Let's go, Justin Payne and Brett Johnson. Racers are ready. .600 stock. They come out of there like a herd of turtles. Lane number 2 is your winner. Number 2, that's number 10. Lane number 2, I mean, Brett Johnson. Johnson, lane number 1. Gorman, lane number 2. Here we go. Very cool. Lane number 2 is your winner. That's 219, Jason Gorman. 62, that's Trent Payne in lane number 1. Up against 0, 0, Justin Payne. Little bit of a lead out of lane number 1. Does he maintain? He did. Lane number 1 is your winner, Trent Payne. This is true. Okay, 219 and 62. Looks like we got Jason Gorman. 62, lane number 2, Trent. Jason Gorman, lane number 1. Lane number 1 is your winner. Gorman's on fire. 3 races, 3 wins. Support Frozen Fish. You'll see it as seen on YouTube. He's recording this event, gonna post some good footage, make a story out of it. Really? Okay, hold on here. So without knowing it, and they couldn't broadcast it, that we've determined first, second, and third in the 600 stock. Gary, for 600 stock, first place, number 219, Jason Gorman. Second place, number 62, Trent Payne. Third place, number 10, Brett Johnson. That's the 600 stock. 219, 62, 10. That's that, 600 stock. 600 mod, here we go. Brett Johnson, lane number 1. Jason Gorman, lane number 2. Lane number 2 is your winner. That's that Gorman character. He must have had a good breakfast today. He's not missing a beat. Justin Payne in lane number 1. Kate Martin, lane number 2. 600 mod. Check it out. 0052 on deck. Looks like lane 2 had a... Maybe red? Lane number 1 is your winner. That's lane number 1. Justin Payne is your winner. 123 in lane number 1, Joel Rao. Up against number 62, Trent Payne. Racers are ready. Lane number 1. Lane number 1 is your winner. That's 123, Joel Rao. Okay, this is the first time in the track from Eric Petka. That's Carter in lane number 1. Up against Jason Gorman. Here we go.
Lane 1. Lane 1's your winner.
Lane number 1 is your winner. Thank you. Did you say lane number 1? That was Eric Petka. That was...
Far side.
Yeah, right on. I thought he'd come out of there a little bit behind there. He must have caught up in the back. Okay, one moment, please. Just been asked to hold one moment. And then with apologies, the third race of this 600 mod, 62 was your winner. Apparently there was something. If you guys want to talk to the guys in the shack, they can explain, but they've allotted 62 to win on this race. Thank you for being a good sport there, Joel. And here we go. Justin Payne, lane number 1, Trent Payne, number 2, 600 mod. And your winner is in lane number 2, Trent Payne. Trent Payne, lane number 1. Up against in lane number 2, that's a new one to the track. No, Eric Petka, sorry. Carter in lane number 2. Trent Payne in lane number 1. You'll notice the front end of these sleds don't touch down the first 100 feet. As the power goes up, the skis do as well. They'll be packing skis the entire length of the track. And we get fixed to the big gun. Here we go. .500 feet of track. Lane number 2. There's your winner, lane number 2. That's Eric Petka. He's on his game. 52, Caden Martin, lane number 1. And 123, Joel Rao. And the race director points to lane number 2 as your winner, Lane number 2, that's Joel Rao. Number 10, Brett Johnson. Lane number 1. Lane number 2, we're back with Justin Payne. Following looks like lane number 1 had a bit of a lead. He maintained that lead for a win. That's Brett Johnson, number 10. 123, Joel Rao in lane number 1. Justin Payne in lane number 2. Here we go. Number 1, lane number 1 is your winner. 123, that's racer 123, Joel Rao over Justin Payne. All right, we got 62 and 123. Lane change for 123, Joel. You get to go lane number 2 up against lane number 1, Trent Payne. I think we're getting close to wrapping. Lane number 2 is your winner. Doesn't matter what lane he's in. Joel Rao is turning out consistent wins here today. All right, this is our second time through the 600 modified. This is for first and second place. We got in lane number 1, number 123, Joel Rao. And number 2, lane number 2, that's 219, Jason Gorman. Third place, Trent Payne. But first and second place determined by this race. In lane number 1, that's Joel Rao against Jason Gorman. In lane number 2, we'll call out the top 3. Both in the money. Number 1, though, took a red. He still takes second place, all right. Lane number 2 is your winner. That's number 219, Jason Gorman. First red light of the day for Joel. Okay, here we go. This is the winner. The top 3 in the 600 modified for Gary. Third place, number 62, Trent Payne. Second place, number 123, Joel Rao. And first place in the 600 modified, number 219, Jason Gorman. We're on up into the 700 stock, 62 and 71. You're up, followed by 858 and 219. All right, what a pleasure to be here for 700 stock. First race in this class. We've got Trent Payne in lane number 1, Brendan Alec in lane number 2. 700 stock. Here we go, we got some fans. I'd like to hear that. Funky start in lane number 1, not sure what happened, but number 2, lane number 2 is your winner. Trent Payne didn't get a fair start there. Well, it was fair, he just didn't get a good start. 4 buys. Oh, 858, 219. Gordo Rao, you're up in lane number 1, and 219, Jason Gorman. Definitely a little faster. Winner goes to lane number 1. Wow. How about that? Looked something like not that one. That's cool. Got him halfway. That is incredible. So 8:58 is your winner. That's Gordo Rao. That's number 10, Brett Johnson from Kitwanga. Got a lot of years of racing under his belt. Justin Payne, lane number 2. Nice even start with the win in lane number 2. Thank you, Dennis. Lane number 2, that's Justin Payne. Brendan Alec in lane number 1. Kasturki in lane number 2. Lots of dust coming from the track, and we got a winner in lane number 1. That's correct, lane number 1. That's Brendan Alec. Got some fans over there. Way to go, Brendan. Justin Payne, Gordo Rao. 700 stock. A lot of different stances from these riders. Lane number 2 is your winner, Gordo Rao. 219, lane number 1, Jason Gorman. Number 10, you're up, Brett Johnson. Here we go.
Easy win for 1.
Lane number 1. Yes, sirree, that's Jason Gorman. 62 and 00. Thank you, Britt. 62 and 00. You are up. And we got us a winner in lane number 1. It's Trent Payne in lane number 1 for 61,858. That's Brendan Alec. Gordo Rao. They're ready. Oh boy. Lane number 2, that was Gordo over the local contingent. Gorman and Payne are in position. Get the nod. That was a nice clean start, with the win going to lane number 1. That's correct, lane number 1. Jason Gorman. 3rd place determined here. Jason Gorman in lane number 2. Brendan Alec in lane number 1. 3rd place determined here. Thought so. Lane number 2, that's your winner, Jason Gorman. Brendan Alec, 3rd place, 700 stock. Okay, here we go. It's the final race of the 700 stock. We got Jason Gorman in lane number 1 and Gordo Rao. Racers are ready. Looks like Gorman had a bit of a start, a leading start. Does he maintain it? Lane number 2, Gordo. On the good in that one, Gordo Rao, 1st place. Followed by Jason Gorman, 2nd place. And Brendan Alec in 3rd place. That's it for the 700 stock. Way to go, racers. We're up 700 mod, that's M-O-D, short form for modified. I'm getting this down, aren't I? Yeah, thanks. I'm here all day. First race in the 700 modified class. In lane number 1, that's our Williams Lake man, Gordo Rao. Just took first place in 700 stock. Trent Payne in lane number 2. Here we go, 700 mod. No idea from where I stand. Lane number 1. Wow, Gordo is your winner. Caden Martin in lane number 1, Justin Payne in lane number 2. Check it out, we're 3 races ahead. We got us a rhythm. Yeah, baby. There we go. Lane number 2. Lane number 2, Justin Payne over Caden Martin. Here we go. Brett Johnson, lane number 1. Jason Gorman, lane number 2. You ready? Lane number 2. Jason Gorman. Bobby T in lane number 2. Joel Rao in lane number 1. Here we go. Burp. Can I say burped and farted? Because that's what it did. Lane number 1. That's a bummer for Bobby T, but he'll be back. Justin Payne, lane number 1. Gordo Rao, lane number 2. Here we go. Payne and Rao. Looked like lane 2 to me, but I can't see nothing. That's right, it was. How about that? That's Gordo Rao, lane number 2, 219 and 123. You're up. Jason Gorman, you're in lane number 1. Super close from my perspective with the win in lane number 1 it is. Wow. Lane number 1. That's that Gorman character. Trent Payne, lane number 1. Kate Martin's lane number 2. Got a winner in lane number 1 it is. Trent Payne. 10 and 11. Bobby Thompson, lane number 2. Brett Johnson. By the blue sled, Bobby T. Is it enough? Lane number 1, Brett Johnson. Number 11, Bob Thompson. You got the fastest reaction time. 0:33. 1:23, Joel Rao in lane number 1. Kate Martin, lane number 2. Katie Martin in lane number 2. Looks like, I think, is your winner. No, lane number 1, Joel Rao. 0-0, Justin Payne and Brett Johnson. You are up. Here we go. Justin Payne in lane number 1, Brett Johnson in lane number 2, with the win in lane number 1. Justin Payne. Joel Rao is now sitting on the reaction time. 0.021. Bring it on. Number 219. Jason Gorman in lane number 1. Gordo Rao in lane number 2. number 2. That's that Gordo character. Joel Rao in lane number 1. Justin Payne in lane number 2. Interesting, lane number 2. Very cool. Justin Payne, lane number 2. Just been informed we are rounding out the 700 modified class. This race with Justin Payne and number 219, Jason Gorman. One more time, Jason Gorman, Justin Payne. Winner goes on for first and second. Third place determined by this race. Third place determined right now. And the winner is lane number 2. 219 was your winner. Jason Gorman goes on to face Gordo Rao for first and second place in the 700 mod. Third place, Justin Payne. That's in the money. Good deal. Lane number 1, Jason Gorman, go for lane number 1. Lane number 1, right here, brother. Gordo Rao, 858, he's already there. Final race, 700 modified. First and second place determined right here. Both racers in the money, as is Justin Payne in third place. But first, Gorman and Rao, 1 and 2 respectively. Here we go. That's what we like to see. Nice, clean start. Lane number 2. Oh! Gordo Rao, first place, 700 modified. Third place, Justin Payne, 0-0. Second place, Jason Gorman, number 219. First place, 858, Gordo Rao. 700 mod, it's a wrap. 800 stock, rock and roll, 0-0 and 13, that's Justin Payne and Dustin LeClaire. A little bit of volume in these 800 stock. We got a winner in lane number 1. I got sidetracked. That's Justin Payne in lane number 1. In lane number 1, that's Jarrell Charlie, number 43, up against number 36, Anthony Sensenig. Lane number 1 is your winner. That's Jarrell Charlie. Thank you. In lane number 1, that's Finney Redwood. Number 90, Eric Petka. This should be good. You blink and you miss it. Lane number 2 is your winner. Pretty clean smoke job there, Eric Petka, lane number 2. Thanks to all you racers who come from afar. Like number 123, Williams Lake, Joe Rao. He maintained that lead in lane number 1. That's number 123, Joel Rao, 43 and 34. Charlie and Felix, let's do this. He was there. I wasn't. Number 2, Marco Punis, thank you. 62 and 15. Trent Payne and Steve Wade. Lane number 1, it is. Lane number 1 is your winner, Trent Payne. 219, that's Jason Gorman. And number 90, Eric Petka. Thanks for understanding. Lane number 2, thank you. Number 90, Eric Petka. Lane number 1, Joel Rao, Williams Lake, Arctic. Been dealing since 1991, that's Arctic, that is. In an 858, that's his dad, Gordo. Been racing since 1992. We got us some veterans here. Father son team, let it go. Gotta love that. Did the old dog take her? No. The young fella got it. He's buying supper. Joel over Gordo. Here we go. Jarrell Charlie, lane number 1. Vinny Red with lane number 2. That was close. Lane number 2 it is. Vinny Redwood. Yeah, he's got some fans over there. 858, you're up. Gordo Rao, lane number 1. And in 0-0, Justin Payne in lane number 2. That's a nice clean start. Sir, that's Gordo Rao. 219 in lane number 1, Jason Gorman. In lane number 2, that's 34, Marco Punis. That's a close one. Lane number 2, Marco Punis. Joel Rao, Trent Payne, making it happen. Lane number 2, that's what I thought, Trent Payne. There's your winner, 858. Gordo Rao, Vinny Redwood. Lane number 1 is your winner. That's Gordo Rao. Races are ready. Lane number 1, Eric Petka. Lane number 2, Gordo Rao. Wowzer. Lane number 2 is your winner. Thank you. Lane number 2, Gordo Rao over Eric Petka. Eric Petka, lane number 1. Trent Payne, lane number 2. 800 stop. Lane number 2, Trent Payne. 34 and 123, Marco Punis in lane number 1 against Joel Rao. True story. Lane number 2. That's number 123, Joel Rao. 219.13. 219. Getting noisier. Number 1, lane number 1. 219 again. Jason Gorman over Dustin Leclerc. Justin Page in your Redwood. 800 stock. Let's go. Whole bunch of something went on there in both those sleds. Looks like lane number 1, Justin Payne. Also, we got a new top speed of 80 miles an hour, 80.4. Gordo Rao, 858 is the number for the top speed of the day. But first, let's determine third place in this 800 stock class. Both races are in the money. Marco Punis in lane number 1. Lane number 2, Joel Rao. Here we go. Lane number 1 is your winner. That's Marco Punis. Third place, number 123. That's Joel Rao. He'll take it. Final race, 800 stock. Trent Payne in lane number 1, Marco Punis in lane number 2. Top speed of the day, 80.4 miles an hour. Gordo Rao. Trent Payne in lane number 1, and the winner is Trent Payne. Lane number 1, 800 stock. Third place, number 123. That's Joel Rao out of Williams Lake. Second place, 34, Marco Punis. First place, number 62, Trent Payne. Trent Payne first, Marco Punis second, Joel Rao third. 800 stock. It's a wrap. We got us a 50-50 draw winner. Gary Sturgeon right here. 50-50 draw winner, Gary Sturgeon. $464. You deserve it, bro. Go to his YouTube channel, Frozen Fish. You won't be disappointed. Right here, Amy. Thank you, Gary. I saw the ticket. It's legit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Woo! Here we go, 55. That is a wrap for the 2025 Cold Smoke Drag Races. Be here next year. Call your friends. This is a good show. Come on down. Thanks for joining us. Okay, we're going to talk about sponsors again here, because without them, this wouldn't be possible. And there's many, so I'm going to run the whole works of them here. It'll only take a second. You racers, get on down here. Perfect. Thank you. Right out here is perfect. All right. Sponsor of the open class, Pine Ridge Holdings. Thank you. Sponsor of the 900 class, Cross Creek Logging. Thank you. Sponsor of the 850 Turbo class, Evergreen Industrial. Thank you. Sponsor of the 850 class, NA, Pine Ridge Modular Homes. Thank you. Sponsor of the 800 class, Bulkley Valley Credit Union. That's BVCU. Thank you. Sponsor of the 700 class, SMP. If you don't know the acronym, that's Sullivan Motor Products. Sponsor of the 600 class, Tatsa Group and Andy's Machining. Sponsor of the Best Reaction Time, BKV Towing, a mainstay in our community for many years. Sponsor of the Frontline Medical, Outdoor Adventures. Sponsor of the Modified class, Brian Imus and the Rednecks. And the King class, first, second, and third place, again, we thank Forest Power Sports, HJCK Contracting, and High Octane Motors. Sponsor of the security, it started yesterday, Burns Lake Automotive, that's BLA. Sponsor of the advertising, AMC Village Insurance. Sponsor of the skid steers, I believe there's 2 of them over here, Iron River Contracting and Country Homes. Sponsor of the insurance for this event, DTU Industrial Wholesale. And last but not least, the sponsor for me, Doug, I'm your announcer, it's a pleasure to be here again, HJC Contracting and the Burns Lake Snowmobile Club. Without the sponsors, we wouldn't be here. Without the volunteers, we wouldn't be here. Without the racers, we wouldn't be here. This is a coordinated effort. We're going to have fun. Let's have some safe, good, clean fun here today.